Hi, I'm Jennifer Whitaker, empowerment strategist, wellness universe world changer, resiliency trainer, and I'm here today to talk about the moon, not what I do in my day job. Um, Today's topic is May's full flower supermoon, lunar eclipse, because we have a lunar eclipse coming up in May. And so that gives us a whole lot to talk about today. This supermoon is going to be the closest supermoon of the year. And if you're not sure what a supermoon is, or if you missed that explanation, please go back and watch the video titled April 2021 Pink Supermoon on my YouTube channel. And that gives you an explanation of what a supermoon is, because there's so much to talk about today. I honestly don't have time to go over it again. So May's full moon is called the full flower moon for obvious reasons. And like I said, I'm a resiliency trainer. In the Feeling Good Club, which is the Wellness Universe Club on Clubhouse, I have a room every Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. called Resilience is a Verb. And in that room, we talk a lot about resources. I teach about resources in my resiliency workshop. And one of my resources is fresh cut flowers. I make a point to keep fresh cut flowers in my house on a regular basis because they bring me joy. And when I look at the flowers, it feels good inside of me. So I brought my flowers. I gathered the 3 vases that I have in my house right now. You can see them behind me. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention that my fresh cut flowers are here in honor of May's full flower moon. Now, May's full flower moon also has other names. There's secondary names. The corn planting moon, the egg laying moon, and the frog moon are among other names that the May moon goes by. But this one that's going to happen on May 26th. And for me, it's going to happen early in the morning, and it's going to coincide about the same time, or actually maybe a little after sunrise happens. So I don't know if I'm going to see it or not, because from my vantage point, it's going to be really low on the horizon. So whether or not you can see the lunar eclipse is going to depend on where you are on the planet. To see a total lunar eclipse, Western North America, Western South America, Eastern Asia, Australia, New Zealand, Oceania, that whole part of the world is going to get the full lunar eclipse. Anything lateral to that on either side is going to get a partial lunar eclipse. And then on the opposite side of the world, you're not going to see the eclipse at all. Doesn't mean you won't feel it, but you won't see it. So what about lunar eclipses? What is a full lunar eclipse, by the way? Okay, so and during a full lunar eclipse, we have the Earth between the moon and the sun. So we're going to pretend this is the moon and this is the sun. The moon doesn't actually disappear into the darkness. The sun, the earth gets between the moon and the sun. And let's pretend you're standing on the moon for just a second. What would you see if you're standing on the moon? It would look like the earth is a big black disk that just overshadows the sun. However, around the earth, you're going to see a glow of light all the way around the earth. And that is the light of the sun refracting through Earth's atmosphere. Now let's go back to the earth. From the vantage point of the earth, what are we going to see when we look at the moon as the light from the sun refracts through our atmosphere? As that refracted light hits the moon, it's going to give it that blood red, coppery orange color that we find so beautiful and mysterious and mesmerizing. So that's just refracted light is all that is. A partial eclipse, which is what I'm going to see if I do see the eclipse at all, a partial eclipse just looks like the shadow of the earth is taking a bite out of the moon. So it kind of looks like a crescent, but a little different than a normal crescent moon. So let's go back to May's moon and the lunar eclipse and talk a little bit more about that and what a lunar eclipse can tell us. You've heard me in the past talk about how the sun and the moon can show us that dance between the masculine and the feminine, and what the moon can show us about our feminine aspects and what the sun can show us about our masculine aspects. Well, the yin and the yang symbol, just the way it's drawn, implies movement. And the same thing with the infinity symbol. And there is movement between the masculine and the feminine aspects of us. So there are times of the day or times of the month where we might be a little bit more feminine, and there are times of the day or the month where we might be a little bit more masculine in our qualities and our behaviors. So let's look again at the position. So we've got the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon, and it's between the two. So where is the Earth where that movement is? It's at that pause, at that still point between the two. So lunar eclipses are a great time not to focus on masculine qualities or productivity, but to sit in stillness and sit in quiet and find or regain the balance of the masculine and feminine within you, even if it's only momentary, because that lunar eclipse is only momentary before it starts to shift the other way. It's also important to look at what's in opposition. Now, what does that mean? Okay, I've said in the past that the moon goes through all 12 zodiac symbols each month, and the sun goes through all 12 zodiac signs or symbols each year. So during the May lunar eclipse full supermoon, we've got the Earth with the moon in the sign of Sagittarius and the sun in the sign of Gemini, and the Earth is in between them. So what that means is that Sagittarius and Gemini are in opposition to each other. If you have Sagittarius or Gemini anywhere in your chart, whether it's your sun sign, the cusp, your ascendant sign, or your moon sign, then this is a lunar event that might hit you just a little bit more emotionally. And it might rile up your emotions a little bit more than normal. If there's somebody close to you in your life that has Sagittarius or Gemini in their charts, there could be an increased conflict or kerfluffle or something between the two of you that needs to balance out. So again, this is a great time to look at those aspects within yourself and to look at those aspects between you and others in your life. And even if these signs aren't in your chart, it's still a great time to sit in stillness, to go within and to look at any inner conflict that you might have within yourself. It's an opportunity to explore that conflict. And if you can do it without judgment, and if you can entertain both perspectives of that conflict within yourself and gain a deeper understanding of both parts of that conflict, then you're more likely to bring it back into balance. But this requires curiosity, and it's not as easy as it sounds. So again, it's a great time for that stillness. A lunar eclipse is also a great time to incorporate Tonglen into your lunar rituals. Now, I'm not going to go into a big explanation of what Tonglen is. What I recommend is that you Google Pema Chodron and the word Tonglen. Put those three words together. Pema Chodron. It's P-E-M-A. Chodron is her last name, C-H-O-D-R-O-N. And Tonglen is T-O-N-G-L-E-N. The first hit that comes up on Google is a 4-minute and 47-second video in which she gives a wonderful explanation and a brief meditation of Tonglen that's all in less than 5 minutes. And I highly recommend that practice for any type of lunar eclipse event, especially if you're in the fullness of the lunar eclipse. This could be a powerful practice to work out some of that sending and receiving breathwork energy. So I hope you find this information helpful. I hope you got some ideas on how to bring them, how to look at the masculine and feminine, and maybe have some ideas on how to bring that back into balance. At least be aware of it, because if you're not aware of it, it's going to blindside you and you're going to become reactive. If you are aware of it, you're going to be, oh, I know what this is. And then you can be responsive. And that's the important part, is to be responsive and not reactive. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on the Wellness Universe blog, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to hit the little YouTube button that's on the right side of the video. Go to my YouTube channel. Tell me what you think. Comment, subscribe. And if you have ideas for a ritual, you might have something that didn't even occur to me. Please let me know in the comments what it is. And I hope to see you on Clubhouse on Monday, May 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time, when we talk about moon rituals for anyone. And the topic on Monday, May 24th at 5 p.m. is May's full flower moon. Have a great day, and I'll see you in a couple weeks when we talk about June's new moon.